Hello, welcome people watching on Twitch and Twitter. This is going to be another Alpha Sharks update. We are going to be going through the training page as usual and going through the minting page and going to see if we can get ourselves a live play today. So again, just like always, going to let some people jump in here. Give it about 5-10 minutes, and we will get your guys' questions answered today. All right, those watching on Twitch and Twitter, welcome. This is going to be another Alpha Sharks update, and we're going to be checking out our trending page and going to be seeing if we are going to have a live play today. And we're actually going to have a special guest of actually one of our holders who's going to come up and give some live dialogue and some live questions through the live stream. So kind of like an announcer type of overview of looking at potential trades. So again, this is an attempt at something that we're going to test out, but yeah, I really appreciate him doing this because it's definitely not something easy to do. And yeah, so let's actually get started with this. We're going to jump straight into my screen up here, and we're going to check actually the volume and going to see what's actually been traded the most. So when I say that, I'm actually looking at the ETH volume traded here, which is going to be this middle metric. And I like to go in here just looking at what's quote unquote normal for the day. And right now I'm looking at not ditto with 140 ETH, which is pretty prominent. That's a good amount of ETH that we're seeing. Rotten Antisocial Club, 113 ETH, pretty solid as well. Fed Up 21 ETH, definitely not as much ETH as the first two, so we know that this is subpar as of what we've seen so far. Genuine Undead, about 51 ETH, again, same thing, about half of what the first two have done. And again, scrolling down, we really don't see lots of double-digit ETH. Oh, now we see Labyrinths right here with 35, Beyond Earthline with 68, and Aliens with 65 as well. Rare Pepe is actually with 169, so it's pretty solid. What I'd also like to do is go into the smaller time frame, which is going to be a 1 hour. And again, do the same thing, trying to see the most volume ETH traded during this actual trading day and time frame. So not ditto pops up again at 5 ETH. Not the most that we're seeing, but from the top three, it's actually top three so far. Rotten Antisocial Club again, this one actually being the top right now, most volume traded within the hour. Genuine Undead with 5 ETH volume traded, so anything above 5 is looking above par, at least within the hour time frame, so it doesn't look like we have much going on. So let's go into the 15-minute and see what we have again. So we can see Not Ditto and Rotten Antisocial Club are the two that keep popping up across all time frames. So these are the two that we're going to be looking at today. Let's see if we go into a smaller time frame to see what's actually getting more volume. And as of right now, within the last 5 minutes, Not Ditto is actually going to be our project that is getting the most transactions that is actually happening. So we can see about 0.1 ETH that is going through right now through 4 people through about 5 transactions that is going on. So let's actually jump into Not Dittos. So we're actually inside Not Dittos, and let's actually check out the metrics that I like to pair together. So once we looked at the volume, we're actually going to use our top metric to break down how thick our walls are within this project. So first thing I like to talk about is owner to supply ratio. And what that means is how many owners to actual number of supply there actually is inside the actual project. So we can see that this is under 50%, meaning under 2,000 owners of the whole supply. So personally, I like to trade projects with over 50% owner to supply ratio, but does not mean that projects with under 50% will not be able to run. What that metric is just telling us is it's telling us how thin our walls are, meaning how many people actually own the amount of tokens that we're looking at. So ideally, in a perfect world, if it was 1-to-1, meaning owners, if there was the exact same amount of owners to the exact same amount of supply, this would intend that every owner would only have one token, meaning all the cell walls that would be going on here would be green because, again, in a perfect world, everybody would only have one token. And think about this on a seller perspective. If you only had one of an NFT and it actually starts to go up in price, you're actually more likely to actually hold this particular asset in this case due to the fact that, again, you only have one. Think about it on the flip side. If everybody had 10 tokens and again, this project starts to rise in price. If you have 10 tokens and lots of other people have 10 plus tokens as well, this idea is going to go across many people's minds. And with that being said, it's a lot easier to let go of a few NFTs to de-risk yourself, meaning to offload some of the NFTs that people are owning. And at this point, that's what we're trying to get away from. We want thinner walls to kind of get through. It doesn't mean that just because people own 10 plus tokens and 5 to 9 tokens is a bearish sign. It just means that it's going to be a lot thicker of a wall to actually get through for the project that we're looking at. So the higher the owner to supply ratio, usually the thinner the walls are to kind of get through. And we'll actually see some other metrics that we combine with this to actually help us read this a little bit better. So let's go on to the next portion, which is going to be the NBCP, which is going to be next blue chip probability. And the next blue chip probability is a very key metric for us to be looking at. Definitely one of the ones to be looking at for longer term swing trades, meaning projects that are coming from a smaller, smaller price point or a slower, elongated move. This number is going to be very key. Usually, I like to start seeing this number get very interesting for projects around 5 to 7%, because what that means is you have more blue chip projects that are jumping into the project that we're actually looking at. And not only that is that a technical metric, but it's also a fundamental metric because we're also looking at the audience that these people are actually bringing in. And again, it's not the particular audience they're bringing in, but it's the potential demand that they can bring in. So the higher the number, meaning the more eyes that are looking at the project. So with potential news catalysts that can come out, and the higher the NBCP, it's more likely that demand is going to come in at this point. So this is a very key number to be looking at over time. Let's see the next one. Amount of listings is going to be a very solid metric for us. Checking the listings to the amount of supply is going to be a very solid ratio for us to be looking at. I'd like to see listings at about 10% of the total supply. Right now we're at about 25%. If you divide the listings by the supply, it's about 25%. And again, this number is going to correlate to how thick our walls are, because it's going to be a different story if this wasn't 956, if this was actually 995 listings. This would be a very thin wall to push through, and we would have a very different perspective on that at that point, because the amount of listings is going to be very important, because that's the amount of total circulation that's actually total supply that's actually in circulation, and that's a very key metric for us to be looking at. The next one is going to be 1 hour cancels, and that's going to be a metric that you're going to be looking for. If you see lots of cancels going on, like triple digit cancels, there's usually some type of catalyst at this point regarding holders, in order to incentivize holders to actually hold for some reason. And again, doing triple digits within the hour, that is going to indicate that there definitely is some type of news catalyst. And finding that out is definitely going to help read the technical portion of the chart as well. Going into this little trio over here, you have number of sales, and we can see we have three little metrics. We have 1 day sales, we have 1 hour sales, and sales within the last 10 minutes. And these are very key to look at, especially if you have a project that has been trading for at least a day. Good to know the overall daily volume that it's done on the day before. Then also good to look at the sales that are coming in within the last hour. So it's letting us know right here, we're up 93% in sales within the last hour. So we're almost doing 100% of the amount of sales we've done within the last hour. So that's telling us, hey, we're in good momentum phase right now with this, at least within the last hour. Then looking at the 10-minute sales, again, doing a ratio on 10-minute going to the hour. If you start pushing that 10%, 15%, 20%, that's telling us that there's lots of demand coming in at this point. And that's going to be something that we're going to want to be looking at for sure. And that is going to be the same metrics that are going to be posted here. And you can see this little gear icon that is popping up. And you can actually customize that to your liking. So let's say you just wanted to see 1 hour, and you wanted to see 15 minutes, and the last 5 minutes. So notice that actually changes for us here too. It doesn't change up here, but now you have a few different metrics that you can look at. So pretty interesting factor that we can look at as well. Let's go down into the listings portion. So our listings portion here is going to have a few different metrics right here. First, we're going to be looking at the amount of listings that we have. So we can see this number next to listings is directly correlated to this box here, which is going to state our listings, which is also directly correlated to this chart down here. So lots of different places we can see where our exact listings are going to be. And definitely a good metric to be looking at, again, comparing with our supply. If we can get that at least under 20% or at least under 10%, that's a very nice metric to be looking at as well. Here we're obviously going to have our rank. We are going to have when the listing was actually posted. Then we're going to have the option to actually buy the NFT, and it's going to show what marketplace that is going to be on. Let's see if we can actually see, like here, we can see that this is on a different marketplace as opposed to OpenSea. And if you wanted to filter those out in particular, you would go up in here and you would be able to highlight those. And let's say you just wanted to see OpenSea listings. Notice the amount of listings actually changes with that. Let's say you just wanted to see listings through Looks Rare, you can highlight that. Let's say you just wanted to see listings through this platform here, then you can do that as well. But ideally, you want to toggle all those on. And the next portion we're going to look at is going to be the left-hand side of the listings box. And we're going to have a color scheme that is going to pop up. And we get lots of questions regarding the actual color scheme itself. So we're going to go over what exactly each color of each listing is going to mean. So the first one we actually have, again, on the left side of the listings is going to be the green color. And the green color is going to be a listing that we've seen being listed for the first time. And notice that's probably going to be a very common one that we're seeing with ones that usually have just about minted or have been around for a day or few. If we can see another color right here. So the next one is going to be red. So let me erase this. You guys can see this one right here. You're going to have a red left-hand side listing. And what that's going to indicate is that this person is actually undercutting their last personal listing. So if you start to see lots of red pop-ups, red listings that pop up on top of each other, you can also change that portion being here as well. You can start to see that that's actually going to be a portion where people are going to start undercutting not only themselves, but going to start undercutting other people. And that is going to be a very key metric to be looking at, especially during momentum plays, if that's something that people are going to be trading. The next one that's going to pop up is, let's see if we get one. Ooh, this one's rare. We don't see this one too often. This is going to be a gold or a yellow one. This one right here. Again, this one's more rare. This usually happens in, again, some type of news event or some type of very strong momentum in usually the upside movement. If you start to see lots of yellows that pop up here, yellow listings, that's going to indicate that the listing, there was a prior listing that was actually taken down, and they actually had listed it for higher. So meaning that they paid the listing fee twice. So that is going to give us an indication that, hey, they think that they can get a lot more out of get more out of their NFT in particular. And again, you want to see these in multiples at this point. Again, that's going to indicate that multiple people are taking off their listing and then relisting at higher price points. Again, that's going to be a very bullish indicator. Awesome, we got to see that because, again, we don't see that too often. Then the next one is going to be this one right here. Going to be the white listing. And the white listing here is going to say that there's a NFT, which is this one, that has been listed for higher, but there's still a lower listing that is up for sale. So if you start to see lots of whites that are popping up, then that's still going to tell us that people are still trying to get a higher price point or a higher sell, but they still have a listing that is actively lower. So at this point, it's kind of a null indicator at this point. Just telling us that, again, these people are trying to get a higher fill. Let me go to the chat real quick. Smell, can you please explain what this is for? Primary wallet, tools wallet. Yeah, so that portion that you're looking at, the primary wallet, is going to be the wallet that your Alpha Sharks actually is in, or that you actually staked with. And the tools wallet is going to be the wallet that if you get access, or if you want access to the Alpha Shark tool, this is the wallet that you're going to put in. So let's say you're on a ledger, that could be your primary wallet. And if you have a burner wallet that you're looking to snipe Alpha Sharks with, then you can insert that wallet. The marketplace wallet is going to be the wallet that you want to connect, the ETH wallet that you want to connect for potential whitelist spots on the marketplace. And that is going to be the wallet sent in for, again, whitelist spots if you potentially get that. The Solana wallet is going to be, again, a Solana wallet address that you're going to input for potential whitelist spots or potential NFTs that you can win inside the marketplace as well. Good question. Cool. A little bit of a smaller crowd today. Wondering if anybody wanted to come up or if anybody had a question. Again, we can highlight and bring up the chat overlay on the side. Can we save projects in a watch list? As of right now, you're not able to. We are definitely looking into some portion to do this. Yeah, that would be awesome to have a portion for a watch list, and not only a watch list, but a watch list for particular projects individually. That'd be pretty cool as well. We'll definitely bring that to the team for sure. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for the question. Let's see what's actually going on with a project not Ditto. Let's see where we could potentially go. So gonna delete this. Let's see how long this has actually been out. I like looking at projects from all the way far out, as far out as I can get them, and then zooming into them. Again, this view is going to help us out some, but if it's a longer term project, this is only going to give us the last 3,000 transactions that have actually happened. So a nice trick to do as well is if you don't want to see all delistings, you can do sales, and that's going to mitigate the amount of transactions that are actually happening. So that's a nice little life hack that you guys can do there. Seeing this longer term downtrend move, I think the reason we're starting to see some volume is because we're near breaking that longer term downward trend. So let's go into something smaller, hourly, and let's see, are we doing the same thing? Yeah. Yeah, we actually broke that trend line and we bounced right off of it using it as a support. So this 0.25 or 0.025 is a very key proportion for this particular project, not ditto. I like the listings, how these are actually going down while we're actually getting some type of volume coming in. It's not much. Let's see what we're getting. 3 ETH. I mean, 2.9 ETH. That's not much. We want to see at least some double digit ETH come in here to truly give us at least a push to that 0.05, which could be potential. And one thing I do want to see is I want to see listings go more towards 0 while our sales are actually increasing. Right now, our sales are actually going towards 0 and our listings are actually rising at this point. So actually doing the opposite of what we kind of want. But let's see if we can zoom in a bit and see how the volume's looking on that end. But it's not letting me zoom. It's odd. Yeah, that's going to be a very key resistance for us, that 0.025. Also a whole number, quarter number, half number, psychological number that we like to talk about as well. So drawing this range from this 0.5 to, how low did we get? What was this one? 0.0005. I mean, basically 0. So playing within that 0.05 range, and if you can get over that 50%, then you want to take that to at least 61 or 78 at that point, which is going to be sitting around this zone, 4.7-ish, or 0.047-ish at that point. So yeah, but one of the key things is, again, going to be our demand, which is going to be our volume. We don't want to see this going down. We definitely want to see listings keep decreasing. But we do want to see our sales starting to come in. If we can't, then we'll just come back into consolidation. And if we happen to break this last low, which was 0.01, 0.012, then again, you'll likely come back to test this last low, which was 0.00005, which is, again, basically 0. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I do have a question. NFT Flip has this cool section that shows snapshots every 5-10 minutes, and it helps you see how projects are moving. Do you plan on implementing something like this? That's interesting. That's something I'd have to look at. Definitely not something we're not opposed to, for sure. Again, as long as it can benefit the people who are using the platform itself, we're pretty open to trying to make this the best platform possible. So I'll take a look into that. That's pretty neat. That's it's like a log, pretty much. Yeah, definitely pass that on to the team. Appreciate that. Yeah, send them over to, you can send them to my DMs. My DMs are always open. But again, as a team, we pretty much go over all the live streams, and we get the suggestions, concerns from the community and the people who are utilizing it, and we directly try to implement that to our best ability. So yeah, appreciate that. Um, okay. Do we have any more questions? I know we do have a light crowd today. And for those watching on Twitch and Twitter, we do these twice a week. We do try to accommodate the US friendly time zone and the EU friendly time zone as well. So usually we'll do one on Tuesday, 7:15 p.m. Eastern, and we'll usually do one either Monday or Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern to accommodate the EU friendly time zone. But yes, again, none of this is possible without you guys actually watching and participating inside these live streams. And like we were stating earlier, anything that you guys look to utilize inside the platform, we're definitely open to trying out and definitely talking to the team about. Because again, we're trying to make this the best all-in-one tool that we can. So let me do something real quick. Yo, what up, non-fungible? Mm, yeah. Mm, mm, yeah. Mm, mm, right. Mm, mm, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that's definitely something interesting to go over. I'll see how that would pass by with the team. But we definitely go on the back end and do our at least research on how these platforms are utilizing the same data as well. But to get that on video, that would be interesting. I definitely see how that can be very appealing to people who are trying to get into, like you said, the best tools. Um, so yeah, that's definitely something that we're looking to, and trying to schedule these live streams for live live trades is something that we're definitely looking at as well. Because I believe we're able to do some live streams where we're able to pre-record the live streams and maybe doing like an overview, kind of like a like what would you call that? Like a mic'd up session of kind of like an overlay of kind of how that trading process was going and like what we were seeing live. I think that would help out tons. So yeah, I'll definitely get to the team on that to see how we can benefit that for you guys. Mhm. Gotcha. Yeah, definitely will keep that posted. I have that noted in here, so we'll definitely talk about that to the team today. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we're definitely again trying to do our best on our side because I mean we're still technically in beta, but getting that on video and stuff would be very neat if we can pull off this next update that we have coming. That is going to be very intriguing. I know there's a few of you in here, but I'm really excited for one of the updates that's going to be coming out. Uh, I can't tell you, it's not out yet. I can't tell you, but it's I can't. It's going to be very interesting. Um, Something I've been looking forward to for a long time. So again, it's in testing phases, but it's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, we're trying to focus on that, and again, also trying to incorporate the suggestions that are kind of coming in as well. So I think you guys are gonna like the next update too. Nice. Uh, yes, I've seen that. Um, yeah, I've seen that. I guess our not comparison to that, but how we would kind of look at that here, it's kind of not as convenient if you're on the actual project, like looking at the view. I mean, especially if you're in the momentum. But if you go into like the trending page, or if you're looking at the minting page, doesn't both metrics are going to show up. You can get these. You're going to have these three little symbols here. You have the little gas pump. You're going to have the flame priority, and you're also going to have the Ethereum traded. But that portion that you're talking about, the suggested gas and I guess priority, this is pretty much telling you what the average or the range that the gas fees of that people are using with inside the project and the priority fees that the people are using with inside the project. So let's say that you're trying to max out, like let's say you're trying to beat everybody, no matter who's trying to buy it, you can directly see who's how much gas to put. You can put 59 gas here and 5 priority at that point, and you'd beat every single person because you're widening the range at that point. And not many people can really see that. I'm not sure how the Tiny Astro calculates that metric, but I would check that out. That's a live feed, I'm sure. I'm sure it's a live feed that pops up because it has to be constantly calculating. Um, mhm. Gotcha. Hmm. 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 That's totally dependent on the project that you're looking at. So that's why having this up on, I mean, I know if you only have one screen, it's kind of tough to kind of have this just on one screen. But if you can have this popped up somewhere, um, noticing, because look at the gas fees and the priority fees that differ from this project Inferno entities. Look at the priority, that the range on that from 1.1.5 to 30. That's a huge range as opposed to, let's say you're trying to get into Rotten Antisocial Club. There'd be no reason for you to put 30 priority at that point on this project, but there would be for this one if you're looking to actually snipe something like that, because there are people that are utilizing that priority. Um, so that question is very individualized to each project. Um, and depends on how much you're willing to risk, because again, if you're putting that priority up and that gas up, are you willing to pay that if you actually get filled at that price? Usually it doesn't happen, but for the odd reason gas kicks up to that price at that particular moment that you're inside that trade, you can get filled at those prices, and that could be something that could put you in a position where you're definitely over allocated, um, as opposed to your risk. So I guess at that, what I would do at that point, I would be going into my, oops, is that what's running right now? Let's, somebody called that out or something. What's going on? Ooh, that ABCD pattern we always talk about. Uh, this ABCD, it's this basically run up again. I don't know if this just minted out. It's basically this run up, and then you get this pullback or this retrace. But this retrace that we always talk about is part of the pattern that we always look for. As long as this retrace doesn't retrace as low as this last low, the range that we created. So we have this top range here where we have sales going on, and then we have our bottom range. As long as this next portion, next retrace doesn't pull as low as this bottom range, we're looking for a move to the upside right here. And again, this pattern happens all the time. It happens way more times than not. Mm-hmm. Yep, look at that. Six, what's it, 666 supply, 300 owners, so 50% owner supply ratio. What's that percentage? Listing to supply. It's about, what was that, 20%, 15%? Trying to do that off my head. But pretty decent amount of listings to supply. Um, this was, I mean, yeah. Hmm. Yep. We're definitely, I've passed that to the team numerous times. We're trying to get that actually posted right here. Like, because we, you know how you can do your custom time frames here. What the heck? Oh, because they're all one. Let's say I wanted to see 15-minute, 5-minute sales, and 1-minute sales. I told them that we should be able to see kind of how we have here, because these time frames are for sales. Obviously, these are sales as well, but the percentage changes for projects that are live momentum, it's not very useful for this, because sales within 1 hour could mean, I mean, that's, some projects only last 1 hour. They don't even last the whole lifespan of a day. So having the metrics and the percentage changes on smaller custom timeframes that we're looking at would be huge. So yeah, definitely one that we're trying to incorporate. But yeah, this one must have got called out because it's having some nice little buys right now. Uh, my thing would be, where's the goal to get to? Where do you think you can get this project to? If that goal is to point one, if so, I'm looking at cumulative sales. That's going to be about 61 buys. What I'd like to do here is go into an even smaller time frame. And I want to see how the momentum is actually moving here. I know that we can see it live with these charts, but what I really want to see is how the demand is coming in. And again, we can see that through multiple portions. We can see that through transactions that are coming through. We can see that through amount of volume, bars that are coming in. And we can see that through our demand that is actually coming through right now. That pattern I was talking about, that ABCD, is pretty much this pattern that we have here. This again, we have this top range and we have a bottom range, and we have the retrace. And as long as the retrace doesn't pull back as far as the first bottom range, we're looking for a push to the upside on volume. And notice right where we ended up getting that volume. Actually, we can show you with this chart, the bottom charts right now. This doesn't calculate all the way back to this time frame, this 1650, but puts us dang near it, just almost right on it. So going from here, we can see our sales starting to rise. As you can see before, look at what our volume was doing. This right here was giving us the buy signal, saying, hey, we're ready to reverse. And let's look at our listings at this time frame too. Notice at 1650, which is right here in this zone, what is our listing starting to do at this point? Right at 1650. We're starting to go down while our buys are starting to rise at that point. That right there is telling us, hey, we're ready to get this reversal coming in right now. Wish we had the listings, all-time listings chart right here to see how the sell balls were setting up, but they definitely got very thin going into that session right here. And we can see that sales started to stay steady and even started to increase at this point, meaning buyers are now paying premiums from what they were earlier on within the day. I mean, it's only, again, 15 minutes, but again, the time frame or the lifespan of an NFT is very minute. So I guess the answer to the question, if I'd be buying in right now, personally, it's not my type of play to be buying in at the top of this pattern. My strategy or my type of play would be buying in at the dip, which obviously I missed by 15-20 minutes. Yeah, probably 25-30 minutes actually. The dip was definitely here. But I do like owner supply ratio. The one thing I'd be looking for over time, if you're looking to swing this, again, is going to be this MBCP. Because I want, even with a smaller project, I do want the NBCP to be rising at this point, because I want more prominent projects inside this project as well, because that's going to give the higher potential for buyers to come in at this point, just in case there's some type of news catalyst. It'll give it that extra oomph, I guess, if it actually does end up working out. But notice our volume staying pretty steady, so let's see how our listings actually react to that. Yeah, see, it's not what we want to see. We want to see listings actually going the other way. We want listings to be going down. our sales are looking decent, but what this is telling me here, notice we have from about 17 to about 1710. Notice how we have this little uptrend in volume. Notice how that also correlates with our price action. Then look at what's happening right here. We do have higher volume that has came in, but not high enough volume that has came in, I guess, from this last portion here that we were trading within. So this is telling us that this is a relief kind of push that's going on here. The key point right now is for this project to hold this last retrace low, or this last what was prior resistance, which was that 0.05. So if it can hold this 0.05 on the potential retrace, if our listings keep going up, and buyers start buying at that last, holding that as a new low, that means we'd be creating a new trend at this point. But what's really going to help us do that is going to be the volume. And again, we need that to really start kicking in, because yeah, the volume's coming in, but notice we're still on this downward trend with the volume. We need to start seeing these 1 minute candles start to increase over time. That's really going to get you the push that you're actually looking for. And it's going to be a lot, it's easier with these lower supplies because the amount of listings that you have is minuscule. So watching this is going to be very key, because this is the amount of listings are going to take a nice percentage of the total supply that's actually going to be in circulation. So yeah, those are the factors to kind of look at right now. And not one for me, but that was a nice accumulation break that we've actually seen right at the right at that apex point. Let's see, right, that 0.05 to 0.0005, so basically nothing. And pretty much what we tell people is we want to see, once we break out of a range, we're looking for 100% of that move. And it looks like we got that already. We got the accumulation phase, again, the ABCD, the pull, the retrace, the pull back up, and then we got the breakout of the range, which actually got us fills at 100% of the last range. So notice when I'm saying 100%, I mean the first bottom box, that arrow is the same amount of range that we're looking for to the breakout. So if we break out to one side, we're looking for that amount of movement to that upside. And then after that, again, it depends. If you keep breaking that, that means we're in a very solid trend. And again, we're looking for the upper price targets of 100% of that last range that we just played within. So, but you can see right now we're actually coming up to that top zone, and because why? Our volume has actually been overtaking its preceder. And look at what our listings are doing right now and what our sales are doing. Sales going towards zero and our listings are going up. And what's happening with our volume? I just say that we should be seeing some type of topping near this zone, and trying to see if we can hold this retrace, this last resistance, as a potential support. And notice what our listings are doing. And that's exactly one of the reasons why I wouldn't be looking to buy up in that zone, that 0.8, that 0.75 zone, because that's already 50% of the last range that we played within. That's already pretty much late to the move. And most times I'm okay with being late to the project, because there's always another one that's going to pop up 10, 15 minutes later. But yeah, if you had some type of fundamental news behind this and you have some insight behind the project right here, this is where again I'd be looking for a potential dip buy. Again, if there's some, again, I don't know anything about this Inferno entities that's going on, but if there's some type of fundamental news that there's some type of conviction play behind this, this is where I'd be looking for again a potential dip buy, because yeah, we broke the range and did 100%, but now we're coming back to retest the bottom range that we just played out. And again, if we break this, we're going to be looking to go back down. And if we break that, you just stop yourself out. It's okay to take the loss. It's minimal at that point. 0.05 and you're risking 0.035. So, I mean, very minimal at that point. And you're looking for the bounce to the retest to the top. And if that can make it to 0.1, that's 0.5 that you're looking to, or 0.05 that you're looking to make for a reward. That's almost 3 to 5 to 1 risk reward ratio. That's what you're looking to do. You're looking to mitigate the risk as much as you can. But yeah, around that zone is what I'd be looking at, because again, you'd also be holding trend at that point too. So very key area for this project that's kind of going on right here. It's awesome that we got a live play. Just sucks that we always miss it by 20 minutes or so. At least the dip buying opportunity. Cool. It's a good bring up. Let me go to the comments real quick. What do you mean by ABCD? So ABC, basically, it's just a pattern formation. It's basically this upward formation retrace and then the potential move up on the retrace. It's just something that we see kind of over and over and over again. And that one in particular, again, I like to look at this point. It's one of the least risky points to get into the project, because you're getting the people who FOMO'd into the top up here, getting them to sell off, meaning you'll start to see lots more red sales. If you're on the P&L chart, you'll start to see a lot more reds that are going on here, usually. And that means you're buying into the fear, which is solid. But you also have potential buyers that are looking to get into the project who missed out on the first initial buyout. So this is where you start to see the volume starting to rise up, and that's where you can start to see the potential reversal that's happening. And again, having the listings correlate with that is going to help out a ton. But yeah, this is pretty much doing what we just said. It's reversing off that top range because our listings are rising and our sales are decreasing. Not what we wanted to see, but we can see how that correlates. And again, it doesn't take rocket science. It's just, again, we don't know anything that's going on with this project. It's just the technicals that's kind of happening, and how people are kind of playing on this emotional ride. So let's see where we're at. Oh shoot. All right, smaller crowd today, but pretty decent session, I would say. Again, I'm gonna open up the floor to anybody if they have any questions. We have been on the hour mark, so yeah. There you go. Popped up very fast. Uh-oh. Well, MetaMask is a browser extension, so I'm assuming the latency from I don't know, I'm hardwired to Ethernet, so that might be helping me as well. Um, I'm yeah, I'm not 100% on that, but I know we have heard lots of concerns on that. So we're trying to speed up the process for I guess people that have been having that issue. Mhm. Mhm. So this yellow brownish highlight is going to determine, notice right here under the listing filter, you have trades and delistings, but right here you can filter it to all sales or delistings. And all is going to show trades and delistings. Sales is just going to show sales. And notice when I change to sales, those go away. So sales are going to be the ones that are actually transacted, and these are going to be the gray ones on the right-hand column. Delistings, and notice if you change it to that, all of them are going to be that hue. And that's going to give you the indication that these are the ones that are actually delisted. So if you go to all, you're going to have the combination of both of those kind of popping up at the same time. Yeah, cool. This project is pretty much doing what we just said, just pretty much called that topping zone. It's sometimes it's the trades that you don't take that really make the process a very learnable one. Because I mean, I'd much rather see and go through this process than go through a successful trade that I just jumped into and got lucky at. Because I'm learning a lot more from this process, noticing how the stats are kind of correlating with each other and watching the volume and the listings that are coming in and having a plan on what's actually happening. I think there's a lot more to be learned there as opposed to just buying in on something that's totally blind. Because again, this is not, it's something very hard to do, but it's not as hard as people think, unless, again, you just have to put in the work to actually see it. But yeah, it's not impossible to call these tops and see these formations of how people's emotions interact with price action. So I'm pretty glad that we got this live example today. I'm going to take the screenshot for you guys. I think I might be able to do it for you guys today. So let me actually open up a we have some of them that are recorded, and I believe they have been very basic, going on to, I guess, not more advanced, but more non-basic. It's actually, it should be linked on my Twitter and the AlpSharks Twitter as well. Those should date back at least a month or so. So there should be at least pushing at least 8 videos, maybe 10 videos. Yeah. Yeah. And again, if you ever have any questions on anything, because I mean, some of those have the old updates, so there might be different metrics that we're looking at in there too. But if you have any questions, definitely ping me, DM me, tweet me, whatever you have to do. Yeah. Let me see if I can get the wheel up for you guys. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right, you guys got a pretty good shot. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 4 of us here. And Sentes, are you even eligible? Am I able to do that? Are you eligible for the giveaway? Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's see. No, hold on. I'm trying to. Hold on. I'm getting everybody's names real quick. Give me 1 sec. All right. Can I put that in here? All right. Can you guys see that? All right. One more time. This is for $100 in each, and there's a 1 in 5 chance for you guys in here. So, hopefully it is one of your guys' lucky day. And again, appreciate you guys coming down, and hopefully we'll catch you guys next week at some of these sessions as well. We do have sessions again Tuesday, 7:15 p.m. Eastern, and either Monday or Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern as well. And you might have your chance to win $100 in me. So good luck to everybody here. Let's see. Sentes, you spoke that into existence, sir. Ain't no way. Number 1. Number 1 winner. Jesus. Well, congratulations, Sentes. All you gotta do is open up a ticket. I mean, I don't even think you have to do that. Just go in our server and talk to the man, and you will be all set up. I believe it'll be green. I'll tag you in the staff chat. But yeah, congrats. And yeah, that's going to wrap up this week's session. And again, thank y'all for coming out. We appreciate all the people that do come through and watch throughout all the platforms. Next week we should be looking for hopefully another update. Don't count me on that, but again, looking for one of the next updates that is going to be coming out. Definitely keep your guys' eye out for that, because that is going to be very juicy, very juicy. So yeah, again, appreciate you guys coming out, and just wanted to thank you guys, and you guys be safe, and may your guys' bags be pumped.